of Allah. From the Muslim perspective, this means the Quran is eternal and divine, and in no way the word of a man or human messenger. In fact, according to Surah 74, a person who says the Quran is the word of a man or human messenger will be cast into hellfire.
Allah calls the Quran my speech, kalamullah. And this leads us to a very important theological, aqadi principle. And that is that we as Muslims believe that the Quran is not just a human book. The Quran is not just a compilation. The Quran is not the words of a man. Whoever says the Quran is the speech of a man, Allah describes him as somebody who's a non-Muslim, right? In hadha illa qawlul bashar. What is Allah going to do to somebody who says this is the words of a man? Sa'uslihi saqar. I will throw him into the fire.
This raises a problem because on at least 2 occasions, Muhammad, in his recitation of what Allah allegedly told him to say, did not simply refer to the Quran as the word of Allah transmitted by him, but rather referred to the Quran as the word of an honored messenger. In Surah 69 it says, "So I do call to witness what you see and what you see not, that this is truly the word of an honored messenger. It is not the word of a poet." And in Surah 81 it says, "Truly this is the word of a most honorable messenger, one endued with power, with rank before the Lord of the throne." The problem this generates is twofold, both of which come to the same conclusion. On the one hand, simple logic dictates that this must be a reference to Allah. If the Quran is the word of Allah alone, and the Quran is the word of an honored messenger, then Allah is an honored messenger. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. However, if Allah is an honored messenger, it means Allah had honor conferred on him by someone else, and is a message bearer for someone referred to as the Lord of the throne. And if that's the case, then the Quran teaches polytheism. And Muhammad, by propagating the Quran, is guilty of associating partners with Allah in his divinity, a sin he elsewhere said merits hellfire. On the other hand, if the honorable messenger of these verses is Muhammad, it means the Quran is the word of a man. Muhammad was not a Muslim, and Allah sent him to hell.
Whoever says the Quran is the speech of a man, Allah describes him as somebody who's a non-Muslim, right? In hadha illa qawlul bashar. What is Allah going to do to somebody who says this is the words of a man? Sa'uslihi saqar. I will throw him into the fire.
And so either Muhammad peddled polytheism, or he taught that the Quran is the word of a mere man. In either case,
that this
he
is
went to
verily
hell.
the word of an honored apostle. Quran 69-40, transliteration 69-40. Innahu laklu rasulun kariman. Call also means speech, or in the verb form as speak. Consider this example, O consorts of the Prophet. Ye are not like any of the other women. If ye do fear Allah, be not too complacent of speech, lest one in whose heart is a disease should be moved with desire, but speak ye a speech waqul naqalan, that is just. Quran 33-32, as he quoted the translation of Arbari. It reads, "It is the speech of a noble messenger." Quran 69-40. Let's read the verse in context. 069-040. It is the speech of a noble messenger. 069-041. It is not the speech of a poet. Little do you believe. 069-042. Nor the speech of a soothsayer. Little do you remember. 069-043. Ascending down from the Lord of all being. 069-044. Had he invented against us any sayings. 069-045. We would have seized him by the right hand. 069-046. Then we would surely have cut his life vain. 069-047. And not one of you could have defended him. Anyone who has little bit of brain can understand what is Allah SWT talking about in this passage. In verse 40, Allah SWT is saying that this is the speech of a noble messenger, meaning the noble messenger is giving you these things. In verse 41-42 it says that it is not the speech of a poet or soothsayer. Now the question arises, did the pagan Arabs consider Allah SWT to be a poet or a soothsayer? No. Many of them even believed in Allah, the Quran, says, Say and Quat, who is it that sustains you in life from the sky and from the earth? Or who is it that has power over hearing and sight? And who is it that brings out a living from the dead, and the dead from the living? And who is it that rules and regulates all affairs? And Quat, they will soon say, and Quat, Allah and Quat. Say and Quat, will ye not then show piety to him? And Quat, Quran 10:31. So Allah SWT in verses 40 to 42 is saying that it is the speech of a noble messenger, meaning a noble messenger is giving you these things, not a poet or a soothsayer. Verse 43 makes it very clear what is the source of this message, ascending down from the Lord of all being, Rabbul Alamin. Quran 69-43, in verses 44 to 47, Allah SWT is saying how he would have punished him, Muhammad, if he had invented things on his own and attributed to him. Let's analyze the other verse, which Shamoon quoted, 81-19-21 Arbery 081-019. Truly this is the word of a noble messenger. 081-020, having power, with the Lord of the throne secure. 081-021, obeyed, moreover trusty. The problem here is that Arbery has not been consistent in translating the same thing. Verses 69-40 and 81-19 are verbatim the same in Arabic, but Arbery has not been consistent in translating them. This is how they read in Ahulaklu Rasul and Kariman. The translation of the verse 81-19 should be the same as 69-40. It is the speech of a noble messenger, just like Palmer has done. Verily, it is the speech of a noble apostle. Quran 81-19. Now let's read the verse in context. 20. Endued with power, with rank before the Lord of the throne. 21. With authority there, and faithful to his trust. 22. And, O people, your companion is not one possessed. 23. And, without doubt he saw him in the clear horizon. 24. Neither doth he withhold grudgingly a knowledge of the unseen. 25. Nor is it the word of an evil spirit accursed. 26. When whither go ye? 27. Verily this is no less than a message to all the worlds. Why, Ali, Quran 81-20-27. Again, it is very clear from these verses, Allah SWT is saying to the people that a noble messenger is telling you these things. He is not possessed. And by verse 27 Allah SWT is telling again that this is a revelation for all the worlds.